Good evening. This video is going to be on the menstrual cycle and the hormonal regulation of it. It starts out with the regulation, which is done by the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus releases what is known as GnRH, or gonadal-releasing hormone. This is then sent to the pituitary gland, and it releases follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. These then make their way to the ovaries, where the ovarian cycle begins, and this occurs on days 0 to 14 of the menstrual cycle. During this period of time, the follicle, or I should say follicles, begin a process in which there is a primary follicle. It will go through phases to reach a point where it becomes a mature follicle. During this period of time, GnRH increases. Follicle stimulating hormone actually spikes for a moment and then starts to drop off, and it decreases. Luteinizing hormone remains steady. The follicles actually cause the release of estrogen. So during this period of time, or this up to about 10 days, estrogen is constantly increasing to a certain point at which the follicle reaches a point of maturity. And whichever follicle is the most mature at this time becomes an oocyte. That oocyte is then released, and this starts the next phase, which is known as the uterine phase. And this occurs between days 14 to 28. Again, so as soon as the oocyte is released, or the follicle to become an oocyte, the GnRH, LH, and FSH drop off drastically for a while. Estrogen also takes a big hit because there aren't several follicles running around making estrogen constantly. Let's see, also, this is the period of time when there is the formation of the corpus luteum. And basically, the majority of the hormones that were in the previous steps are much lower during this period of time. LH, estrogen, however, progesterone increases, as does inhibin. And these two basically are responsible for the decrease in GnRH and LH. So once this reaches its peak, the corpus luteum, if it hasn't been fertilized by a sperm, then it will begin to degenerate. And the progesterone will decrease, inhibin will decrease, and everything will kind of level off, and the egg, or the oocyte, will go out through the menstrual cycle. It will kind of slough off during the menstrual cycle period.